Om Shri Sadguruve Namaha. Hello viewers, you are tuned in to the YouTube channel Santmat Wisdom, and I, Pravesh K Singh, am going to recite today an English translation of a discourse given by Revered Maharshi Shahi Paramhans Ji Maharaj sometime in 1982. Revered Maharshi Shahi Swami was one of the most eminent disciples of Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj. Maharshi Mehi would refer to him as his heart. So following is from one of his discourses. Devout gentlemen, mothers and sisters, first of all, I would recite a hymn of Kabir Sahab, and then I would try to say something to you on that basis. They must have recited or sung that poem of Sant Kabir, whose translation I am going to read. All these translations are done by me with the most compassionate grace of Guru. The target is hidden behind the sky. To the left is the moon and to the right is the sun. You have to aim between the two, as the support lies hidden between these two. Making the bow of your body and the bowstring of Surat, pull and shoot the arrow of the divine or celestial sound. On practicing meditation, following the Sadguru's commandments, the arrow of the sound goes on piercing through bodies one after the other. Quite surprisingly, no wounds are caused even though the arrow penetrates through the body. Incredible though it may sound, it is experienced by only those who have got hit by such an arrow. Listen, O noble people, says Kabir, only those who have had this experience will testify to or acknowledge its veracity. In this poem, the first to find mention is Nishana, which means target, aim, or the objective. Through this hymn, Kabir Sahab asks us to first fix our aim. Gagan ki oot nishana hai. He says that the aim, the goal, the bullseye is hidden behind the sky. This seems to be quite mystical or enigmatic. One who has set a proper aim for himself will get everything right, while the one whose object is not right, not well set, will get everything wrong. Once, Guru Dronacharya, teacher or tutor of the princes of Kuru dynasty during the period of the Mahabharata, took his princely disciples to a nearby forest to assess how far they had progressed in their training of archery. He got a wooden bird perched on a high branch of a tree and asked the princes to take aim at the right eye of the bird. Only he whom I will command would shoot the arrow, ordered Dronacharya. When all had taken their aim, he first went to the eldest of all brothers, Yudhishthir. Kurus consisted of Kaurava and Pandava. Kaurava had, say, 100 in all, 100 brothers, and Pandavas were 5 in number, and of all of them, Yudhishthir was the eldest. He was a Pandav, that is, son of Pandu. When all had taken their aim, he first went to the eldest of all brothers, Yudhishthir, and asked, "What is it you are sighting right now?" "Gurudev, I can see the bird along with the tree. You, all brothers." Sorry, I made some mistake, it appears. I'll repeat. Guru Dronacharya asked Yudhishthir, "What is it you are sighting right now?" Yudhishthir replied, "Gurudev, I can see the bird along with the tree, you and all my brethren." "You better moved away. You won't be able to hit the target," remarked Guru Drona, and proceeded to ask Duryodhan, the second eldest of the princes. "Have you set your aim right?" "Yes, Gurudev," Duryodhan answered. "Tell me, what all things can you see along with the bird?" asked Guru Drona. Duryodhan answered, "What is there to ask in it? I can see everything." Like Yudhishthir, he too was asked to move away. Guru Drona asked the same question to all the princes one by one to get more or less similar replies. Lastly, he asked Arjun, "Is your aim taken rightly?" Arjun replied in the affirmative. "What are you seeing right now?" inquired Dronacharya. Arjun said, "I can see only the bird perched on the branch, nothing else." Gurudev asked, "How thick is the branch?" Arjun replied, "Now I am able to see the bird only." "Okay, what is the color of the bird?" asked Gurudev again. Arjun said, "Gurudev, now I am able to sight only that eye of the bird you had asked me to shoot at." Satisfied, Guru Dronacharya said, "Yes, your aim is perfect. You can shoot the arrow." Arjun obeyed, and his arrow pierced right through the right eye of the bird. Regard this story as an example. Arjun could hit the bird's eye because he had set his target correctly. Similarly, we too could accomplish our objectives in life if we fix our aim correctly. Through the poem I recited just a little ago, Kabir Sahab preaches us to first select our target, our goal, our aim rightly, know about that target, and then learn how to get at it. What is our aim? What is it each one of us wants to attain? As we see, there is no end, as it were, to our cravings, to our longings, to our desires. Sant Tulsi Sahab had said, "We have one heart but millions of wishes, and yet there is no end to our lust." However, a close analysis will show that every one of us longs for peace, because happiness is inherent in peace. Peace is the mother of bliss. In fact, true peace or absolute stillness is the real attribute of God. There is no pedestal or post higher than that. Our Gurudev, Maharshi Mehi Paramhans, wrote, "Supreme Sovereign Lord is soundless, vibrationless. He is absolute peace or stillness. Try to attain to Him." A similar reference to the form of God can be found in Kenopanishad, which says, "Treat that as God who cannot be pondered over or is unthinkable by the mind. Rather, the mind derives its power to think from Him. All other forms, bound by time and space, of God that are worshipped in this world are not He, that is Brahma or God. Further, Kathopanishad says, just as on just as one and the same air mass assumes a number of different forms or shapes according to the vessel or container or house it enters to fill in, the one and only God pervades all the objects of the universe to assume corresponding forms and yet is able to retain his pure independent identity beyond everything. Sant Kabir Sahib describes God thus: He is invisible to gross eyes, beyond all trappings of illusion, fearless, and cannot be ascribed any shape. He is not gross, without any form or outlines, and is hidden to our organs, mind, and intellect. He is without any beginning or end. He is beyond all description. He is infinitely expansive, does not get born or dies. There is no way we can describe him exactly because he is not as we try to depict him. Only he himself is like him. However, talking of him and listening about him and his attributes gives pleasure and is also an act of utmost benevolence. Guru Nanak Sahib also had similar views. He says, God is invisible to these eyes of flesh and blood, infinitely vast, beyond the reach of mind and intellect, unperceivable by our sense organs, beyond time and accents, unborn, sovereign, without any frailties of mind and mistakes. For sure, he does exist. For sure, he does exist because he is the only truth, and sacrifice yourself unto him. He has no form, color, or outline, the quintessential sound being the only pointer or guide to him. He is without any lineage. He is beyond all the contraptions of Maya or illusion, without any limits whatsoever. All light is His only. He is secretly permeating through all bodies, illuminating all of them. This robust door of darkness is broken open only by those perseverant and fearless practitioners who have learned the right art or tact of seeing from an adept guru. He has created all the beings and time also. He has created not only all the beings but time also, and has kept all the keys, all the secrets to those within his control. Those who pay a selfless service to an accomplished guru are able to find him and liberate themselves from the jaws of birth and death by practicing the yoga of sound. God manifests himself only within a pure heart. Such persons, however, are very rare to find, who have, by relentless practice of meditation, have merged their current of consciousness into the unstruck quintessential sound, and thus, O Nanak, found the true shelter. Goswami Tulsidas ji writes in his world famous epic Ramcharitmanas, he walks without legs, hears without ears, performs all sorts of acts without any hands, enjoys all kinds of recipes without mouth, and can talk without tongue. He touches everything, though being though himself being bodiless, sees without eyes and possesses an extraordinary sense of smell without any nose. Thus, he does all sorts of incredible feats, all of which are impossible of description. Surdas ji, in a similar vein, utters, he is omnipresent, and it is impossible to understand him fully with our gross senses, mind, and intellect. We find several such similar convincing references in the Holy Scriptures and sayings of Sants. Kabir Sahib, through his poem I rendered initially at the beginning, says that such God is hidden behind the sky. Other sants have used different other similes. Dadu Dayal Ji Maharaj of Rajasthan describes him to be beyond all voids and realms, while Goswami Tulsidas Ji Maharaj calls him to be beyond the universe or nature, though living in all hearts. And our Gurudev Maharshi Mehi Paramhans ji says, the Lord is in the soundless state. As a matter of fact, all these sayings, like beyond all voids, beyond the universe, and in a soundless state, refer to the same basic truth. The fact of the matter is that because of being all pervasive, he is to be found everywhere, but he is unknowable everywhere. Goswami Tulsidas ji writes in the Ramacharitmanas, he, though existing the closest to us, living the closest to us, is not perceived without knowing his special form through the yoga of divine light and word, by practicing the yoga of inner quintessential celestial sound. Our Gurudev Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj has also written, Lord, though present everywhere with the same density, is not perceived by our senses. Those initiated by an accomplished Guru can see him within themselves only. God is perceivable through the soul only, but our individual soul has become surrounded or covered by several sheaths or bodies and organs. So long as it remains in the captivity of these various bodies and organs, it will be under the knowledge of these bodies and organs only, will be under illusory knowledge only, because these bodies themselves are illusory, and will not be able to realize God. In order to know Him, God, the individual soul shall have to liberate itself from these bondages. The one who is able to liberate himself from the body and organs is able to lift himself beyond this world too. Our Gurudev had said, there is a very strong relationship between our body and the world around us. The universe is formed of the very same elements of which our body is made. Just as there are gross, subtle, causal, and supracausal spheres or realms inside our body, these very spheres or realms are to be found in the universe too. So, we at any given point of time are in the same realm of the universe as well as of the body. If we lift ourselves beyond a particular sphere of our body, we lift beyond the same sphere of the universe also. Thus, one who can raise himself beyond all the realms of the body will also rise or ascend beyond or transcend all the realms of the universe. The one who has freed himself fully from his body has freed himself of the universe too. Maharshi Mehi Paramhans. And it is thus that all the above mentioned, behind the sky of Kabir, beyond all voids of Dadu Dayalji, beyond the universe or nature of Goswami Tulsidas, and soundless state of Maharshi Mehi becomes fully realized, operationalized, or fulfilled. Separating ourselves from our various bodies and organs, we first come to know our own soul, and subsequently the supra soul, the super soul, that is God also. This realization is not an intellectual knowledge. This is a realization, an experiential knowledge that springs out of direct first hand experience and leads to the end of all our afflictions, sorrows, and griefs forever. We attain perfect liberation even while we are alive in this body itself. To obtain such a state, what support should we seek? Sant Kabir says, Dahine Sur Chandrama Baएं Tinke Beech Chipana hai. That is, the support lies hidden in the center of the two eyebrows. How will we, seeking this support, proceed ahead? That is, what is the hint here is that to the left and right we have got two yogic or psychic nerves called Ida and Pingala, or sun and moon, or Ganga and Yamuna, and in the center of them lies the Sushumna or Saraswati or Agya Chakra, or the third till or the 10th door, it is known by, or the third eye, several names. So there is the aim, there is the target. Okay, so when Kabir Sahib says set your goal right, that is, we have to keep our concentration focused in the midst of the two eyebrows, which is, I say, it is not the physical eyebrows as we see. The real tact or art of it has to be learned through an adept practitioner, a teacher or guru. So what Sant Kabir says, that support which will lead us to our ultimate salvation is hidden in the center of the two eyebrows. How will we, seeking this support, proceed ahead? Kabir Sahib says, make your body into a bow, and your surat or current of consciousness or attention the bowstring. Make the bowstring taut, tight, by concentrating it at a point, the seat of the soul within the body, referred to by various names as mentioned earlier, the third eye or the single eye of the Bible, or Sushumna or Agya Chakra, etc., etc., or the 10th gate or the narrow gate as mentioned in the Bible, the seat of the soul within the body. Make the bowstring taut by concentrating at a point, the seat of the soul within the body, and release or shoot the arrow of the celestial vibration or sound. Here the hint is clearly to practice the yoga of divine sound called as Nadanusandhan or Surat Shabd Yoga. Yoga means union, Shabd means sound, and Surat means individual soul. That arrow of sound will go on penetrating through all the four bodies or realms stated above, which lies in the realm of gross or inert creation. That arrow of sound will go on penetrating through all the four bodies or realms, namely gross, abstract or astral or subtle, then causal and supracausal. These are the four different layers or pedestals of the inert creation or Jada Prakriti. So what Kabir Sahib says, and Maharshi Shahi narrates here in his discourse, that arrow of sound will go on penetrating through all the four bodies or realms stated above, taking the soul along with it, and will finally push the soul into the highest soundless state, the true abode of God. This is the target, Kabir Sahib says, hidden which lies hidden behind the sky. Thus, our soul, seeking the help of sound, will finally reach and merge into that highest entity, that is God. Actually, the secret to such a practice can be learned only from a proficient guru who himself has practiced it to perfection. When this arrow goes on piercing the various bodies, Kabir Sahab says it's a unique, incredible, unbelievable experience. No wounds are caused. Rather, it gives immense, unimaginable pleasure or bliss to the one who goes through these experiences. When this arrow goes on piercing the various bodies, Kabir Sahab says it's a unique, incredible experiences. The arrow piercing through the various bodies means the soul ascending one by one the different layers or the levels of the bodies, like gross, then astral, causal, supracausal, these four realms of the inert creation, and then conscious creation, pure consciousness, and then finally even transcends that to merge with, ultimately with God, to become one with God, to become God. So, actually, the secret to such a practice can be learnt only from a proficient guru who himself has practiced it to perfection. When this arrow goes on piercing the various bodies, Kabir Sahib says it's a unique, incredible experience. No wounds are caused, rather, we experience a pleasure, a bliss never experienced before. That is why we should learn the right technique and practice accordingly. Set your goal right. Glory be to our Guru. Jai Guru. So that was a wonderful discourse from Maharshi Shahi Paramhans Ji Maharaj. I hope you must have liked that. So please, if you have liked it, please like, share it, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Soon I'll be back with another such presentation. Thank you very much. Jai Guru, Radha Swami, Vaheguru, Satya Ram Sa, Sahib Bandagi, Namaste, Jai Guru.